So you've decided you don't want your Rhode Island property anymore, and you're going to put it on the market, whether that's an investment property or a home that you lived in. One of the ways that Rhode Island makes sure that they get their taxes from you is they're going to get you at the closing table. Today, let's talk about the non-resident seller's gain tax. I'm Sandi Warner with Warner Realty Group. If you are a non-resident seller selling a property in Rhode Island, you're going to have a little surprise when you do your closing. Rhode Island, being a tourist state, being such a seasonal property state, got smart some time ago, and they started requiring the buyers of property from non-resident sellers to collect the Rhode Island income tax on the gain from the sale. That's a mouthful. Basically what it boils down to is when you sell a property, your closing attorney, or if you're doing this on your own, please make sure you do this, your closing attorney is going to ask you if you are a Rhode Island resident. And you can fill out a Rhode Island residency affidavit, which we will put up on the screen so you can see it. And the Rhode Island residency affidavit comes from the Division of Taxation, and it's asking you to state or attest to the fact that you are or are not a Rhode Island resident. If you are a non-Rhode Island resident, you're going to be taxed on the gain from your sale. And the way the state's going to make sure they get that from you, they're going to require the buyer's attorney to file that tax before the deed can be recorded. So the whole circular process is you the seller in Rhode Island, our closings are done by usually an attorney. Some parts of the state use title companies, but generally this is one of the first questions you're going to get asked. If you are a non-resident, they're going to have you file a affidavit of residency. And if you are a resident, that's where it ends right there. You're going to file your taxes at the end of the year, just like you normally would. If you're a non-resident, Rhode Island is worried that you're going to skip off happily to California or Wyoming, and they can't come after you and get jurisdiction to collect the taxes that are owed on the sale. So what will happen is, and hopefully somebody's talking to you about this well in advance of your sale, you can file what's called if you're the seller and you're going to show a gain, you can file a tax form called a Rhode Island-71.3 election. And that is going to let you establish what your basis is in the property, which will then tell you what the gain is. And then it's subject to IRS gain rules. So for example, you'll have some exclusions if you're married. If you're single, I think it's up to $250,000. If you're married, it's up to $500,000. Where this becomes really problematic for people is if you've had a property that's been in your family for a long time, and maybe your mom still owns it, and it's a property your mom or your dad inherited from your other parent, and it's been in the family for 40 years. Those gain scenarios can get somewhat problematic. For the most part, you're going to be okay. You're not going to get hit with huge tax bills, but there are scenarios where that can happen. So be really careful, particularly in commercial properties, investment properties, where you don't have the marital exclusions. So if you're selling a property that was a second home, if you're selling a property that was an investment property, if you're selling a property that was a family business, all of these can show big gain taxes. Get with your attorney, do and you can see the form is super simple. It is one-page form on, which should be on your screen now. The Rhode Island 71.3 is a one-page form. Your CPA can help you determine what your basis is and what your gain is. Your basis is what's your value? What is your chunk in that property? It could be the amount it was worth when you inherited it. It could be the amount it was worth when you bought it, plus all the work that you put into it, plus the cost of the sale of the property, plus the attorney fees and all of that. Do the work in advance. Yes, it's a pain in the neck. yes, it's worth it. Just do it, because otherwise you have to try to collect that back when you do your taxes at the end of the year. You'd be amazed how many people don't do the appropriate accounting and pay more taxes than they need to. So talk to your CPA, talk to your accountant, talk to your closing attorney, and hopefully your agent is bringing this up with you if you're a non-resident seller. If we can answer any questions for you, just give us a call, 401-662-7204. Have a great day. Bye.